Hey guys, I'm super excited to announce that we're finally releasing the product to public, and the product that has been tested by dozens of aggregators, top 8-figure sellers, brands that are extremely dissatisfied with the latest Amazon changes, with the lack of control, with a lack of ability to do the planning of their operations, planning of their growth, and the product has been proven to perform extreme amount of value. In particular, the brands who are at the very crucial stage where they trying to scale, they try to streamline and predict their operations, and as well as increase the profitability of their businesses. So this particular brand is an $80 million account, and that has been facing some plateauing results in terms of the total sales as well as profits. And basically, it started to gain a really good traction from our product at the end of the December. As you can see, that January has been facing extreme big spikes in the total sales volumes as well as profits. And the reason for that is because we've been starting to deploy the system of strategic planning and extremely deep drill downs of ad performance analysis that is basically being performed in the form of breaking it down into segments, right? Segmenting the performance by the thresholds or benchmarks of the ACOS. And basically enabling the brands to not just define the specific ACOS levels at the ASIN levels, but also look into the areas where there's a crucial inefficiencies of the ads are happening, and inefficiencies that are actually causing the ads to be shown to the wrong types of customers. So you can see here that out of the ad spend of $2.5 million, this particular brand has facing over 50% of the spend was basically within the poor and a no sales category of the ad spend. So what does that mean? So over 700 grand in spend was simply not driving any sales, and a little over $1 million in spend was bringing very little returns, meaning that the ACOS or the ROAS was 1.77, whereas only fraction of this ad spend was within the positive benchmarks that were actually driving the profits. So what this tool has allowed us to do is to critically go over these ad spend zones and essentially cut them off as fast as possible, so that the algorithms would not be making the showings and would not be running these ads in the future, and most importantly assessed the past data of the performance that actually already happened, so that we can basically run the simulation and see what would be the performance if we didn't have these types of ads. So here what I do in front of you is basically visualizing the particular zone that's called no sales, and I'm visualizing how the scenario analysis is showing the scenario when we are about to reduce the ad spend by 36%. So I'm going to switch to the timeline view to make it a little bit more representative, to explain what exactly this process tells us, right? So, and I'm going to be basically moving towards, again, the performance benchmarks, and I'm going to switch to the timeline view. So essentially over here, if I go back to the initial state when I'm just having the zero values, right? So the dashboard is basically visualizing the initial stats as they are right now. And as soon as I start moving the numbers, the digits within the panel, the dashboard is responding with showing what type of metrics would be moving up and what metrics would be moving down, right? So most of the brands are always looking for the total sales and net profitability to going up at the fastest pace, right? So preferably if they all go up, as well as margins, right? And obviously we looking to the ways to cut and ads where they're not efficient, right? And increase the ads where they are efficient. So in this case, the ad spend that I summarized in the previous summary view it was showing for the period of December till almost end of the January, $700,000, right? That was bringing zero sales. So what I did is that I basically visualized, what if I just took these ads, right, the within the no sales zones. I'm not going to be sort of revealing the ads in details, but I'm going to be visualizing the scenario if I'm cutting them off by 25%, right? So what's happening is that the algorithms are immediately visualizing this particular scenario, right? How this reduction in the ad spend is immediately moving towards the increases of the profitabilities, right? So the ad spend actually, as you can see, that it reduced by 25%, and net profit is increased by 23%. And very importantly, you see how the total sales is also responding and telling us what exactly is happening with the total sales in this scenario. In the same way, I can basically do the cutting of the zones that are called poor, right? So basically, the areas where the ACOS is exceeding 60% values, right? We can always select the thresholds that we're looking for, and most of the brands they do a custom selection of the ACOS that is considered to be poor in this case, and do the same exact thing where we're visualizing what's going to happen if we cutting them off by 38%, for example. How much the deltas in performance are we going to be getting? And importantly, it's going to visualize the effects on organic as well. This is the most crucial thing that most brands are looking for, is to analyze the dependence of organic and ads and how they're impacting the total sales in total, right? And what we started to do lately, after doing these optimizations and cutting the areas of inefficiencies, is to analyze how can we actually drive more results out of the external traffic, right? So how can we push more traffic that is coming from the outside, and basically redistribute these budgets towards the most performing or like high ROAS campaigns, right? So that are mostly coming from the creators, influencers, affiliates, everybody who's just producing high quality content, right? And that's together with the ads are basically driving highest ROAS to us. So this was like a very quick demo. In the next ones, I'll be showing you more detailed ones that are describing how to optimize more pieces in the operations, right? So how to make them streamlined. But this was a very, very quick overview how you can visualize the most effective scenarios that are aimed at driving the top improvements of the net profitability, right? Increases of the sales volumes, or slight reduction of the sales that are happening from very, very costly spaces, and basically maximizing the lean operations that top brands are really looking for in 2026. So thank you very much. If you're interested in making a demo, I'm happy to schedule a call and go through your accounts to show you how much you can grow.